Hey guys, welcome back to Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. I'm Andrew, and what I have for you today is the Advanced Survival Course review from the Pathfinder School. Stand by. Alright guys, disregard my Rattle Snake right here. He jumped out at me on the trail and went ahead and dispatched him. Normally I would let them go, but there are other people out here in this area today and some children. So to keep everybody safe, took care of this guy, and now he's going to be lunch. But moving on. Now this patch has been earned by about 50 people who have attended the Advanced Survival course at the Pathfinder School in Ohio. To give you perspective on the course, it's been in operation for about 10 to 12 years or so, 8 to 10 people per class size, 2 to 3 times a year, averages out to about 500 students who have attempted to go for this patch, and only 50 or so have actually earned the Advanced Survival course patch. That is a very low attrition rate. That's about 10% of the people who attempt to earn this badge actually get it. So what I want to do today is talk to you about the Advanced Survival course and give you the tools to succeed at the Advanced Survival course. One of the things that the instructors relayed to me and the other 2 individuals who graduated from my course was that not a lot of reviews are done on the Advanced Survival course, and not a lot of information is out there to help prepare future students for the Advanced Survival course. This guy's still fighting me. He's still not dead. Jeez. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to skin this guy and gut him really quick while I'm talking to you about the Pathfinder School. So at the Pathfinder School, there are 3 courses: the basic, intermediate, and then the advanced course. The basic is just a course, go out, gather some sticks, learn how to boil water, start a fire, and build a shelter, do a little bit of land nav, you're good to go. Now, the intermediate class is a class that is a step beyond the basic class. There you're going to do more firecraft. You're going to have a larger amount of fire items to affect different fires, flint and steel, ferro rod, solar ignition, and then you're going to build shelters. You're going to go through food and then sleep deprivation, but you have plenty of water. And then there is advanced land navigation courses. So the intermediate course is a step beyond the basic with a little bit more stress involved. Alright, then in the Advanced Survival course, you probably get to do things like this, skinning and cleaning animals for food because you're going to go hunting. But the Advanced Survival course is not for the faint of heart. You have to be on your game for the Advanced Survival course. In their course, you need to know at least 80% of what will be asked of you, and the instructors will teach the other 20%. You need to go in there with a good experience with land navigation, because at some point you're not going to have a map and compass. You're going to be using your Paul map, or you're going to be using the sun to navigate. You need to have friction fire down because you're going to be doing a lot of bow drills, and then you need to understand the lashings and then a lot of the other routine tasks that have been taught to you in the intermediate class and then the basic class, because it all builds off one another. So now, why don't we dive into the kit and we'll take a look at the items on the packing list for the Advanced Survival course at the Pathfinder School. Alright, briefly, we'll go over the items for the packing list for the Advanced Survival course. This information can be found on the website when you sign up for the class, but I'll show you what I took that worked for me. So, my rucksack, this is just a malice pack from Tactical Tailor that I've had for years and years and years. I've rucked this thing, I've jumped this thing out of airplanes, and it has been my go-to bag. It's the bag I started with. Now your bag, you're only going to have it for the first day, at least I did. It may change depending on course, but after that we were rucking Roycroft pack frames or ladder frames, and that was our rucksack for the remainder of the course. All right, next item, starting over here, my right, your left, queen size wool blanket is on the packing list. This is Alpaca Warehouse, very thick, durable material. I've taken it to a few courses already, so don't need to fix what isn't broken. Another thing, socks. We were allowed 1 extra pair of socks. Highly recommend you have 1 extra pair of socks as a way to take care of your feet during the course. All right, next, grab our space blanket. Just has that Mylar inside. You're gonna make a shelter out of this, reaching back to the basic course. But I chose orange and then reinforced the grommets just because orange would stand out from the other students, so I know which one was mine, and then reinforced the grommets so I have attachment points easy to put up and set up and take down. Next, we needed an 8x8 foot tarp. This is just a Tent Smith tarp, oilskin cotton, and very durable, long-lasting tarp. Heavy, it's about 4 pounds, but with this wrapped up into a Roycroft pack frame or ladder style pack frame, this was the waterproof material on the outside that protected all of my other equipment. This thing made it through the course, and it can probably work for you too. Highly recommended. All right, next, bucksaw blade. You're gonna make a bucksaw while you're there, and you're gonna use it a lot in the course. 24-inch Bahco bucksaw blade was what was on the packing list. Brought that, made a bucksaw frame. Again, like I said, you're gonna use it a lot, so your skills need to be on point to make sure you have a durable frame to use this, because you're gonna cut in a lot of material, and the saw makes it that much easier. So, bucksaw blade. All right, next is that hatchet. Hatchet's on the packing list. All you need is just a small camp axe or wildlife hatchet like this Gransfors Bruks. This one, easy to use, especially in dense vegetation, to gather material. Easy to attach to the outside of your Roycroft or your ladder style pack frame and carry around with you. Lightweight. I've used this before at a couple other courses, and it's the one I go to every time, all the time. All right, knife was next. Needs to be a minimum 4 inches, 90-degree spine, high carbon steel, so you can strike a rock off of it. You will be doing flint and steel ignition with the back of your knife at the course, so it's important that you have that carbon steel knife, 90-degree spine. You can make shavings and all that good stuff with it. You will not have a ferro rod. You will not have any other fire materials with you besides what you find in this kit. So having a good high carbon steel knife is incredibly important for the course. This is just a Mora Garberg 100% carbon steel, Scandi grind, good handle. I've used this knife many a time, and it's the one I'm going to go to. I find that the 4-inch blade is easy to manipulate and use, and a larger blade would probably be a little bit too much, and a smaller blade probably wouldn't be enough. But the Mora Garberg is just the right size and right use, easy to carry, easy to use, utilitarian knife for all campcraft and everything you're going to be doing there in the course. So I recommend the Mora Garberg. Next, we got that canteen cup and canteen. Definitely want to have a good canteen and canteen cup. You can go with the Pathfinder canteen cook set, or you can go with just the bottle and the nesting cup. I use the bottle and the nesting cup. It's what's worked for me so far. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. All right, next is Bankline. Take all the Bankline you can. Take an entire roll of Bankline number 36, because you're going to be using it for everything at the course, so just take as much as you can. They allowed us to have a lot of Bankline there. We weren't allowed to use 550 cord for any reason. Bankline is all you're going to get and all you're going to use. All right, next is that compass. Took a Suunto MC2 compass, used it a lot. Have pace beads and a whistle on here for signaling, and then for pace counting while we're doing land navigation. Your compass is going to go away at a certain point in the course. Won't tell you when, but you're going to have to rely on other methods for direction aid and land navigation. But a good compass to start out with, like a Suunto, is going to be great for the course. I also trust Silva, and then even a Lanzetic compass, but Suunto is going to be the one for the survival course that I recommend. Next is that headlamp. Recommend you have a good headlamp, high lumens, with a lot of spare batteries. You're going to be doing a lot of work at night. All right, you're going to be up late, and there's going to be a very little sleep. You're going to be doing a lot by the fire or at nighttime to accomplish a lot of tasks. All right, next is a bandana. Highly recommend taking a bandana. It's supposed to be a hygiene item for camp, but I used this to hold a lot of my char material. It worked very well, at least for my class, and then kept it inside my haversack to protect it. You're going to make char at some point, probably early on, and then you're going to need it toward the end of the course. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So having a way to protect your char and carry it with you, because you carry everything you make. A good way to carry it with the handkerchief inside a haversack. Kept it protected the entire time. It worked for me. All right, next on the list is that Shemagh 3x3 cotton material. Use this as a container, a collector. Used it for a variety of different things to keep warm at night, especially when it was cold. But Shemagh is on the packing list. Bring a good Shemagh with you. Pen and paper, all right? Rite-n-the-Rain Notebook and pencils, all I recommend. You're going to be taking a lot of notes. You're going to need to write down a lot of things in your notebook, a lot of the deliverables, a lot of the tasks, time to be back. You're going to need a notebook to keep track of everything, especially making a paw map. Gloves are an optional item. Highly recommend you take gloves to protect yourself out there in the wilderness. All right, next, you're going to need 3 55-gallon drum liners. Got my 6mm drum liner right here, 2 more right there. You're going to be gathering material, making shelter with it, so have good, strong drum liners for the course. What I recommend you take with you is a haversack or some sort of small container that you can wear outside of your ladder pack frame that you can add materials to, because you're going to be gathering a lot of tinder, you're going to be gathering a lot of materials, and having that extra space or that extra way to transport it easily was very beneficial. Now, before I forget, one item you're going to need is your 14 gauge sail needle or canvas needle for gear repair and then for improvisation. At the course, we use this as a health item as well to pop blisters. We can use this to help sew up clothing by taking apart some Bankline and making a quick sewing kit out of it. Done that before. But this canvas needle is also on the packing list, so make sure. All right, so let's talk the course really quick. Now, I'm not going to give too many of the secrets away, but like I said earlier, you need to be on your game with survival skills that are going to be demanded at the course, which is why all the instructors and Dave recommend you start out at the basic course, do the intermediate, and then go to the advanced. I would recommend at least doing the intermediate if you know what you're doing, and then taking the advanced just to see where you are. Now, in my advanced survival course that I went to, we had 75 deliverable tasks, which is on the upper end of deliverable tasks that the instructors have said have been in an advanced survival course. So for a deliverable task, we had things as routine as going out and gathering the materials they wanted at the course, bringing those back. All of those items or the materials we collected were all a deliverable. Then we had to take those items and make different tools or different structures with those items. Now, there are deliverables in the class that I want to call, or I'm going to call, chance deliverables. A couple of those being fish and frogs. You're going to make fishing equipment, hobo reels, cane poles, and then you're going to make frog gigs, and you're going to be able to go out and actually hunt and fish for those animals. Luckily, my team at that point of 3 were able to go out, catch fish, and also go out and catch frogs and bring them back to camp. But in other courses, depending on the time of season, time of year, may not be viable, and you may come back empty-handed. That's just the nature of the game. All right, now let's talk preparation. Now, for preparation for the course, I'm still in the Army, so I'm rucking and running and working out constantly as part of just Army lifestyle. I understand not everybody is to that level. So if you are uncomfortable walking with a rucksack on for an extended period of time over distance to meet a certain time hack, you need to start early. I highly recommend you start at least a month out from your school date, or even further. If you can invest a lot of time into ruck marching, highly recommend you do that. Obviously, blend that with recovery so you're not wearing yourself out. Now, for ruck marching, highly recommend, if you're a novice or a beginner, start out 3 to 5 miles with 25 to 35 pounds on your back, and then try to maintain a 15-minute mile pace. That is very fast for a lot of novices, but that 15-minute mile pace is probably an average of what you're going to see at the advanced survival course. All right, now let's talk mental preparation. This is what got most people. In fact, the 5 that we had quit in my class, and I would imagine historically, if you look at all the classes back to 12 years, people quit because of this guy right up here. They didn't think they had it, all right? Or they hit their wall physically and they just weren't mentally prepared to go beyond that point. Now, mental preparation is key. You have to have the mental fortitude, the strength of mind to be able to bounce back from shortcomings and then push through tasks and believe that you can accomplish that. The way you do that is through a lot of physical training and practice. So if you can get out, ruck march, and continue to build on that, you're going to build confidence in your ability to move under load over distance and time. If you can put practice out here in the field with your bow drill, different lashings, making a ladder pack frame, making frog gigs, cane poles, whatever, It's going to give you that confidence that'll carry over into other skills. It's called self-efficacy. So mental preparation is key. You have to put in the time ahead of time. Not everybody can just walk in off the street unless you live this lifestyle to make it happen. A lot of guys find that out when they get to the course. Alright, so getting ready to cook the rattlesnake here once my fire gets set. But I want to give you guys some tips for the course. Like I said, it's demanding. It's not for everybody. Anyone can do it, but not everybody is able to do it, if you know what I mean. It takes a special kind of mentality. It takes somebody who's durable, who's tough, and then flexible to really accomplish all the things that are at that school. Now, number one, light and strong gear. I didn't have the lightest gear, but it was pretty strong. If you can find gear that is light and still strong and durable, take that with you. Any of the pounds you can take off your back at the course means you can walk faster, move a little bit more, and save some energy. So light and strong gear is my recommendation now, but take every opportunity you can to dry out your socks, dry out your feet, dry out your insoles, and then let your boots dry naturally overnight. Take care of your feet because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. Practice the bow drill. Practice, practice, practice. Definitely recommend finding a single piece of material in your area, whatever it is. I have aspen in my area. At the schoolhouse, you're using tulip poplar. Use that to practice your bow drill. Make the entire set, minus the bow, out of that material, and then practice with that because you're going to be doing that right off the bat. Another recommendation, time management. Everything there is done to a time standard. You're going to have a certain amount of time to do every single task. You need to manage that time and don't get bogged down in one task. Spread it out. If you're in a team of 2 or 3, you can definitely, somebody do, gathering materials, somebody do another collection, somebody saw wood, whatever it is, divide up the tasks, somebody be a leader in there and manage the time so you can make it back on time. Otherwise you fail all those deliverables. Container management is another tip I want to give you. Use your bandana, use your haversack or other containers to safeguard tinder, especially char, because you're going to have it near the beginning of the course and then need it toward the end of the course. At least in my course, that's what happened. So safeguard that and use every container available to safeguard tinder, especially fragile tinder. Last tip I'll give you, anytime there's a competition, like producing an ember from a bow drill set or coming back first with all your points, whatever it is, try to do your best at the competitions because there are rewards. And then when you get that reward, make sure you share it with your teammates. Alright guys, well, that does it for this video on the Advanced Survival course at the Pathfinder School. We talked kit, we talked the course and deliverables, physical and mental preparation, we talked physical and mental maintenance while in the course, and then I gave you some tips and tricks that you can take into the course with you. Ultimately, the Advanced Survival course is up to you. All right, you need to know 80%, then be willing to learn 20% more while under stress, water, food, and sleep deprivation, and be able to continue and push through all that to deliver and earn that patch. It is a very difficult course to go to. Highly recommend you start out the basic, do the intermediate, and then finally the advanced. Unless you're ready for the advanced, then you can sign up and do it. But whatever you do, maintain mental fitness, maintain physical fitness as best you can. You're going to be broke down, but you can make it. Everybody can do it, but not everybody's able to do it, if you know what I mean. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me, for the channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.